YouTube, what's the deal?
It's time to get real with Jahira. It's time to get real with Jahira.
YouTube, what's the deal?
What's the deal? One love.
YouTube, what's the deal? It's your girl Jahira, and I am back. Hey, y'all. So, in typical me fashion, it's going to take 14 days into the new year for me to wish y'all a happy new year, but nonetheless, happy new year, y'all. 2013. For some of us, who would have thought it? Me included, but I'm so incredibly grateful. It has been a blessing and a joy to have y'all along for the ride. I promise you big things happening this year. As y'all know, the giveaway is pretty much almost done. I have to head over to random.org and select a winner, and then I cannot wait to review this book for y'all as soon as they the first place and winner gets their advanced copy shipped out and everything like that. And so it's going to be really good. There's so much to discuss. I don't want to keep y'all forever, but I do want to get you up to speed, and y'all know I'm a stream of consciousness kind of chick, so I'm going to do the best I can to give that to you. And again, y'all, just very happy new year. Happy new year to all of us. Everyone that has rode with me thus far on the mission, those who were there and then fell off, those who are new, those who were there from the beginning. I appreciate, I adore every single one of you. I pray that your new year brought you all the satisfaction that your heart can possibly hold. And I can't wait to tell you all about mine, because I actually have been home now for about 5 days, I want to say. But I was gone. I was not in Louisville for like a month and a half. Literally 1 month and a half. So I've got to get y'all abreast. Or two about everything. But y'all, hold on. I'm going to give it to you right now. So, God, where do I begin? Basically, as y'all know, I believe I had told you that I was going to be heading out to San Francisco because a friend of mine was having surgery and he needed somebody to kind of, deal with the aftercare and stuff like that. A very dear friend of mine. Shouts out to Kassan. And I did end up going to San Francisco. The surgery went incredible. We spent a week out there. And I had never been to California before, so that was like really exciting for me. We were technically in San Mateo. But yeah, San Francisco's like right there. And I just got a chance to kind of get the vibe out there, and it's absolutely, y'all, if you haven't been, I mean, I can't really sit here and tell you that I did the whole tourist thing, because that really didn't happen, because obviously he required a lot of my attention, but just the sheer, for lack of a better way to put it, topography of the place was just unbelievable. Just the rolling kind of hills and mountains, and as we were flying over, to actually, I don't recall ever seeing mountains from, the air before, and I took a couple of pictures, and it was just really, really unbelievable. Like, it was just phenomenal, to be honest. So from there, I went to Boston. I flew to Boston from San Francisco, where I got to see my mother. And I hadn't seen her, maybe around 7 months. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like it was around 7 months. And so seeing her was incredible. Just seeing her was just immensely gratifying. And, granted, there are times that she makes me want to drown like a basket full of kittens, but I mean, it's my mother, and I love her, and she loves me, and we have this really dynamic relationship, and granted, it's not always the most functional, but when we get together and we get to talking, the conversation flows so easily, and I know in my heart I'm speaking to my best friend, and that's kind of major for me. That's very, very major. In the meantime, not while I was gone, but shortly before I left, I just want to show y'all this really quickly. One of my subtastics on the YT sent me these, absolutely beautiful as they shake, so y'all can't see them. These are prayer beads and they're she calls them healing jewels, or yeah, it's healing jewels. And it came from one of my subtastics by the name of Tasha. And this, I don't know that my lighting is really picking up on the sheer intricacy of the work. She hand makes these all by herself. And this particular one is rose quartz and amethyst, and I want to say garnet. And they're genuine stones that she strings together, and she put this absolutely adorable, wait, let me get it for you, little moon face on one side, and of course the y'all can't see that, the pentacle on the other. And this particular pentacle has a broom on it, which I think is so gorgeous. And there's another one here, and I'm not a betting person, but I want to say this is rose quartz, clear quartz, and onyx. It has another pentacle. Actually, it has two pentacles, one on each side. And she sent them to me just because she was, convicted to do so. And this is the caliber of the subtastics that I have. I never expect things like this. And I mean, I wish that y'all could see it in person, because this is really not doing justice to how absolutely stunning this is. Her name on Facebook is Tasha's Touch. I'm actually gonna, Tasha's Touch Healing Jewelry. I will post the link below so that y'all can check her out. Like, her work is unbelievable. And it was just, ridiculously generous of her to do something like this. So Tasha, please don't think I forgot about you. I know it's been like 94,000 years since I made a video, but from my heart, you have my undying gratitude. These are incredible. And actually, maybe I'm oversharing here, but I sleep with the rose quartz and the amethyst under my pillow. Because, amethyst is all about spirituality. If you're into, crystals and things of that nature, but amethyst is ensures good dreams. So I sleep with this under my pillow, and it's they're both absolutely beautiful. So yeah, so again, Tasha, thank you. Honest to God, thank you. From Boston, I went to, well, there's kind of a long story in between there. Suffice it to say, I was supposed to go back to Louisville. I ended up going to Cleveland because I had taken the bus from Boston to Cleveland, and I was so dog tired that I called one of my girlfriends in Cleveland, and it was just like, do you mind if I crash over there just so I can break up the trip, because the edema in my feet were going nuts, and I just needed some rest, really. And so she was like, yeah, come on over. And so I ended up coming over. And short version of a long story, she ended up dragging me to St. Louis, Missouri. And it was the most random trip in the world, but she had an event that she had to go to. And shouts out to Vanna, by the way. And so she ended up asking me to come with her, and I think I was probably too tired to say no. So I ended up saying yes, but the joy of that was that I had probably, and this was right around Christmas time, the joy of that was that I had one of the greatest Christmases I probably have ever had in St. Louis. And it was very unexpected because, we weren't, there wasn't a tree set up. We weren't in the comfort of somebody's home. We were actually in a hotel room. But it was just unbelievable. I ended up, bonding with a couple of young people who asked me to be their mother. And I gladly accepted. So big love to Carvez and to Vanessa and to my spiritual son, Logic. And I ended up going to midnight mass out there, which is probably the last vestiges of Roman Catholic that remains in my body, but I felt very convicted. I do every Christmas. I'm a midnight mass kind of person. It's probably the only Catholic thing that I do. But it's where you hear the really good Christmas carols. It's just, it feels right. It feels right to my spirit. And there's something very, if you were raised in a Catholic church, which I was, up until the time I was, probably 14. There's something very sacrosanct about that ritual. There's a very, there's a real sense of history and tradition there. And while I probably, I don't really choose to classify myself with regard to a religion per se, because it seems to have more of a political connotation. Y'all know that I'm Christian, but in terms of a denomination. I just take issue with that because it seems very divisive and separatist to me. I feel that, God, by, however you serve him, is still God, and that thought process, that philosophy works for me. But if I was to lean towards a particular denomination, it would probably be Kojic, Church of God in Christ, just because I'm a big fan of the joy that comes with celebrating the love of your higher power that the Kojic denomination seems to offer in spades. But there is just something very, again, sacred when it comes to, entering. I believe I was in the oldest, I want to say it's called St. Paul's. Please don't quote me on that, but it's the oldest church in St. Louis, the oldest Catholic church in St. Louis, and I believe one of the first. Well, yeah, I guess it would be the first if it's the oldest. Anyway, y'all, I'm tired. But it was stunning. It was so gorgeous, and the choir was unbelievable, and it was a very peaceful way to usher in Christmas Day. And I loved that. I appreciated it a great deal. And so from St. Louis, we went back to Cleveland, where I spent a couple of days. And then I was invited to go to Chicago for New Year's and to bring in the new year with some of my family over there. So big shouts and all the love in the world to Darius and to Toya and to Antonio and to RC and to Joe. Hi, Joe. But nonetheless, I ended up going to Chicago. And I was on the west side of Chicago at first, which is where they lived. And I went to a church out there, and I do not remember the name of it. I will try to find it at some point, y'all. But I went to a church out there on the west side, and it was unbelievable. I mean, it was really a lot closer to the way that I normally worship. And I went to watch night service, and for those of the uninformed, that's the service that ushers in the new year. They start at about maybe 9:30 at night, and they go till about 12:30 in the morning. And so you bring in the new year in service, which is something I've always loved to do. And this church that I had never been to before fed my spirit in a way that, it really was divine intervention, which kind of brings me to my point. And speaks to the title of this video. I am declaring 2013 in my life to be a cancer-free year. And I am advising, suggesting, beseeching, imploring y'all to do the same. And here's what I mean by declaring it a cancer-free year. I have left cancer behind in 2012. And what I mean is, there are people and circumstances and places that provoke a very negative energy. And like cancer, negativity can start out as a simple sentence, even a simple word, and somehow spread throughout your entire consciousness. We've all had those moments where one unkind thing, one unkind word or deed or act, or one uncomfortable place, it might happen in a split second, and then all of a sudden our entire day is thwarted and turned around and discombobulated as a result of this one action. Because negativity spreads. If you say something mean to me, and I allow this thing to settle into my consciousness, it can manifest itself into something so much bigger than it ever needed to be, or so much bigger than it was ever intended to be. Just like cancer. Cancer, by its definition, takes more than what it needs, as does negativity. So when I tell you that 2013 for me will be a cancer-free year, I mean to say every negative person, every negative place, every abhorrent thought, everything that does not feed my spirit, everything that tries to take from me no longer has a place within my mind or my spirit or my heart or my thoughts or my deeds. It no longer has a place. I simply will not allow it. So for a lot of folks, that might mean cutting some people off. That might mean cutting a lot of people off. That might mean not going to places that you used to go. That might mean not doing things that you used to do. Everything that does not propel you forward can only hold you back. And that which holds you back, that which keeps you rooted in a place that you don't want to be in, has no place for you this year. Has no place in your walk this year, because I'm really big on moving forward, especially now. You know what I mean? This is a year that many of us never thought that we'd see. And I will be the first to say, I never expected to get this age, and I certainly never expected to see this year. You know, in my finite vision for myself that was really prevalent in my 20s and my teen years, you know, I've talked about this before. The life expectancy for people like me is not that long. And so the fact that I'm still here, I feel far more purpose-driven this year than I probably ever have. And this can also allude to the reason why I've been away from YouTube and been sort of infrequent in my videos, because I how do I put this? My life has got to take precedence over my life in front of a camera. And until I can get to a position where my life in front of a camera can supplement my actual lifestyle, this is just what it has to be. This year is going to bring a lot more revelation to the channel. For the first time in my life, I'm ready to talk about my ongoing battle with PTSD, which I've never been able to admit to myself or to others before, which I won't get into very deeply here, but you're going to hear about it, and we're going to talk about it. You're going to learn about the years that I spent at a boarding school for disobedient and emotionally disturbed children, which I've never talked about before. I felt as though I had purged myself of so much when it came to this channel and my life. But there's more. There's absolutely more. And now I'm ready to discuss it. So again, I wish for all of you an incredible year. I wish for all of us an incredible year. If you have things you'd like to see on this channel, I would love to get my YQAs started again. So if you have questions, if you're looking for advice on, you know, dating, relationships, self-preservation, self-help, if there's in any way that I can contribute to the betterment of all of us, please do not hesitate to hit up my inbox or hit me up on Twitter or hit me up in the One Love Lounge. And this is going to be the year that all of us take major strides forward into living the best possible example of our own lives. So until next time, YouTube, I love you. I appreciate you. Big shouts out to everybody who's reached out to me. DJ Delish, I love you so much. And all of you, just we're going to get it done, y'all. We're going to make it happen this year. And I will be seeing you very soon. Cancer-free in 2013. Let's do this thing for real. Let's walk in positivity and not allow anything that doesn't contribute to our growth to impede us anymore. Talk to you soon. As always, one love. 2013, who knew?